It's a GSL rematch again. It is Dark. It is Classic here in the round of 4. Classic's been looking damn good in his run thus far, but can he deal with the evil Zerg at his full powers? I don't know. We're going to find out before we get into it. Reminder, I upload one video in 4K every other day of the week. So make sure to check that out. And also, if you want to catch me live, I stream every Monday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, and every Saturday evening, 11 p.m. Eastern for EPT NA and Korea, respectively. And I got some other cool stuff in the docket. Maybe announced by now. Not sure. So make sure to go check that out and enjoy Dark versus Classic. In the upper right, in the blue, he is Protoss Incarnate for AlphaX. Classic. In the bottom left, in the red, for Dragon Fetus Gaming, the Evil Zerg, it's Dark. And this is an interesting matchup because Dark absolutely bopped Classic in the GSL in Season 1. They were in the same group, and it just was not close. But since then, we've seen Classic and Dark square off in these EPT Cups a decent amount, and it's actually been fairly close. Classic is one series, Dark is one series. They kind of trade them. In fact, I believe Classic 2-0 Dark the week after he got bopped in the GSL, and then Dark came back with some proxy hat shenanigans and said, no, you don't get to do that. But if you looked at major tournaments, if you looked at, say, GSL, for example, you'd say this is a really unfavored matchup for Classic, but that's not really true. And I'm excited. It's going to be interesting to see what he opts to go for in this series. Naomi is a goddess. I disagree, actually, because Crater was on my Dark Horse top 6 Katowice list. Because he had hit recently 6.8K on the Korean server. He was like top 8. When I was talking to players trying to do my prep work for Katowice, especially for that open bracket run or that round 36 run, everyone was saying, look, Crater is better than you give him credit for. He is poised to do really good. When I talked to Gemini, who talks to Trap, yeah, again, I was like, hey, you know what? Who's the dark horse? You know, who is this player that we're not going to expect? And the answer was uniformly, Crater's a freaking god. So, yeah, he washed out of Katowice because he got hit with the Ryung build that it was killing literally every Protoss. But I think this is a sign of Crater leveling. I'm pretty convinced this is a sign of Crater leveling up, not a sign of, well, Crater had a one-off and he was really good, but it's not going to be all that much. Who knows? You might be right, and he may have only solved his mental demons for a season. But I watch him play in these EPT Cups, and I see the skill that he has, and I'm a believer. And I'm not the only one. Someday I hope you'll be able to join us. And the world will be as one, although that sounds like a Zerg motto. You never mind saying that. So again, Classic, he's playing that style. We've seen this be super volatile for him. As of today, he had one game where he got 14 workers off of Sue, and it was, well, dominating. It was not even close. Then we had a game where he loses 2 oracles to Spore and Queen and gets literally nothing for it. No, like 3 drones, which is really nothing. And then we've seen the in-between. So it's going to be interesting to see where exactly Classic lands on the, oh, my oracle control. We're going to see where he lands on that spectrum, because in the past, he's been recognized as one of these players that just is Oracle control. Oracle control is that good. Crater and Trap are the other ones, or Hero and Trap, excuse me, are the other ones. And so it's good to see all 3 of these Protoss players back. Or not even having left. Although we will lose Trap to the military pretty soon, it sounds like. Oracles, though, on the other side of the map, there are 2 of them. That means they pair up. That means they one-shot drones. Ooh, interesting. Layers going down at the third base here. Lots of lings on the third base from Classic. And this is why you get the third Oracle. You get that third Oracle to defend your third base. But because this hits before the third Oracle is done, Dark's done a little bit more here. The Oracles of Classic, they have to run on home. It's a long rush distance. The third base under tremendous threat, but you add 3 oracles back home, it's really not going to do all that much for you. In V907, because we got some bad luck. There was only really one good series to start the day, so Steadfast and I did it, and I was trying to make sure that I would get into Hero Beyond. And then I popped out of a game, and Hero Beyond was literally 10 seconds in, and it's like, well, I'm kind of locked into this now. Also, I cast games with the intention of putting them up on my YouTube, so it's far better to get Sue versus Classic than it is to get Quanta versus Beyond. But look at this Dark. He's going for a Ling Queen Nidus in this game. It's interesting. It is something that we've actually seen a couple times now. But the Nidus is done. And how many queens does he have? That's what I meant to check. He's got 7 queens on the map, soon to be 8 Lings, looking for everything everywhere. And is Classic ready? What does he have on the map? Really just about nothing. Oracles, they're flying to the mineral line, but that means that they're not going to be there defensively. So Lings, Lings punch through into the natural, getting us around on top of these Adepts. A couple more will warp in. In fact, it's going to be recall at home. And here comes the Nidus, folks. Dark is just on his stuff in this game. Oracles, they fly into the spot between the main and the natural, killing off a bunch of Lings. This third base, I got to imagine is forfeit, but look at this. The Queens now, they're running into the main base. Probes get pulled, but they do not kill the Nidus in time. And there we go. Transfuses everywhere. 4 workers go down. Stalkers blink. All these powerful techs, they're not done just yet. Probes get pulled to try to deal with this Nidus. They're not going to do so. And we are going to see +1. Blink, it's both. Well, actually, Blink looks like it will continue for a while. +1 does get shut down here. More and more Lings spilling on in, and the army from Classic is just non-existent. Oracles are going to do what they can, but they can only do so much. Pylon's getting depowered, and we only have 2 active gateways now that are able to make anything happen. That's just it, folks. Classic, he pops. And Dark, he takes a pretty damn quick game 1. In the upper right, he's down 1. He is for AlphaX. It's Classic. His opponent in the bottom left in the red. He's up 1 off a Ling Queen Nidus. I thought it was a meme, but it was a dream. He's Dark. The Classic's going to go and block that natural for a little bit. I mean, Naomi's a goddess. Ling Queen Nidus is not the meta. It is not the ZVP meta. It's something Dark does. And you know what? It might become meta, because this seemed really strong against that triple Oracle opener. And it's one of those things that, I mean, in fairness, it's a really quick layer, and that's something that the triple Oracle should, or even just your first Oracle, should reveal to you. So in this game, it worked out because Dark forced the Oracles back home pretty damn quickly, because they had to deal with the pressure on the third base, and the third Oracle was not done yet, and the SimCity was not quite where it needed to be. So with that being the case, then you have this game where Classic is not able to get in the main base. He doesn't see how quick the lair is, and then I don't think he saw the Nidus either. I don't think he saw the Nidus network, at least. He certainly saw the Nidus popping up in his main base, but he didn't have enough time to react. He didn't have enough time. Imagine that's different, right? Where you just drop, you say, okay, the third base is gone. That's fine. You're all in on this. But a bunch of shield batteries in the front of the natural, shield batteries in the main base. That game goes a lot differently. But unfortunately, he didn't scout it. So he's not able to respond to it. And, well, sometimes the games are bops. Sometimes they're over so fast, they're blitzkrieg bops. It's fun. I was talking about how Dartmouth does these... apparently, like, does 2 days of concerts every year. That's a good time. But the good part about it, the fun part about it, is well, anyway, 2 days of concerts. But beforehand, there's a grad student band, and they're Ramones. They're Ramones rehashed, I think they're called. But they played a lot of stuff by the Ramones, including the Blitzkrieg Bop, and I forgot about that game, or I forgot about the song, but now that I have remembered it, well, it's nice. It works perfectly with how that game went, because it was damn fast. And it was a bop. Blitzkrieg Bop. There we go. Sure. That's my story for the day, folks. Once again, it will be an Oracle opener from Classic in this game. Dark doesn't look like he's going to go for a super quick layer again. Well, actually, he's going to get up to 92 gas pretty soon. Yeah, he's one drone on gas. He may opt to do that. But I can't imagine. I mean, that does really seem like a fool me once, shame on you type of build. As our first Oracle arrives. Now it's going to knock down this. Ooh, a couple lings on the other side of the map. That is going to be enough to kill off this Stalker. Oracle turns on his Pulsar Beam. It's going to kill it off. But that means this Overlord is okay. And it's so cool. I mean, that was absolutely a bait. We saw the Overlord there in a spot that the Stalkers could kill, saying, yes, yes, come kill me. You did it in game 1. But 6 lings on the other side of the map are absolutely wonderful in this game. And Dark is so good at playing counter to the meta. Now he's going to send 16 lings onto the other side of the map, the 6 that are here and 4 more. And, oh, he forces energy out early, too. So these Oracles are not going to have a lot of defensive energy here. And even more importantly, Classic is staying at 2. He's not going up to that third one. It means that lings on the other side of the map, they may be able to cancel this third base. Dark is just playing so excellently counter to the meta that it is really cool to see. I mean, Dark was in the early days of the opposite or of the new patch, he was doing a bunch of weird stuff, and now he's doing it once again. Lair on the way. I don't think this is going to be the Link Queenitis. I think his lair is a lot later than it was in that last game, but again, he's forced this game state where the Oracles cannot run across the map, cannot find value. And again, Classic did not opt to go and get a third base or get a third Oracle. He does not have that defensive utility, does not have that aggressive utility. And these Oracles are going to find pretty much 0 damage. Which means Dark can really grow to infinity. Okay, they're going to fly in now. 4 workers go down, but you lose an Oracle for that. That's really not ideal. They're going to fly in to the third base, but no shields that Oracle means it really doesn't get what it wants. And you want to make sure you keep at least 2 of those Oracles alive, at the very least defensively, for shield or stasis traps, things like that. But Blink +1, they're on the way. They're going to be done in about a minute. And Dark has opted to go for a more traditional opening behind this. Ravager or Roaches, Roach Warren, Evo Chamber, 4th base, all this fun stuff. But he has really pinned Classic back. Classic has not been able to find the value that he was looking for. Now, you kill 4 workers, you keep both Oracles alive. Maybe you're okay with that. But losing one of those Oracles, which are just, again, they're your strongest tool on the map right now. That is not what you want to do. And in general, I mean, Classic has been known in the past for his Oracle control, but it's been pretty dodgy tonight. Feels like he's maybe limit testing a little bit. Trying to do that thing of, yeah, you know, I'm going to just try to figure out where my limits are, where the edges of things are to... And it's okay, it's an open cup. It's a $400 cup. The GSL was what's more important. So I'm going to lose my Oracles now so I can get a better feel for where I'm going to get them later. But Link is done. +1 is just about done here. 4th base on the way for Classic as he gets ready to move out on the map. Does he have a Warp Prism yet? The answer is no. Does he have a Robo? Answer is yes, but he's just there are 4 observers right now. Good stasis trap on a couple gas drones, but more importantly, on a Queen. There's still plenty of Queens here. It's interesting to see Dark still go up to 6 or 7 Queens. That was very much an anti-Skytoss meta idea, but still. Let's be real here. The answer to every Zerg problem is build more Queens. That's how this works. So +2 charge on the way, online pretty much with these with the Bailey Nest. Now Stalker's here on the map from Classic. This is his first real time. In the Oracles, they try to keep his opponent back, but now it's when you add these Stalkers that things become a pretty interesting time here. Hey, 47ist, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. People almost never tip this stream, so thank you so much. I need to talk to you. I hear you're making some emotes for Scarlet. I need to get some animated emotes. So I need to talk to you. But here we go. Nidus on the way, but Stalker's already here, and if they get pretty active on the map, this 4th base is going to be slowed down just a little bit. Good force fields, actually. It's going to force a couple of these lings back. But because it's only 1 Oracle, and it's not all that active anymore, this Nidus may go undiscovered. And I'm very curious to see what happens here. I mean, we're still on 6 Queens, a couple Ravagers. Baneling Nest is done. Baneling Speed on the way. Where do we see the Nidus pop? Oh, wait, is he going to see it? No, I don't think he does. Yeah, no, he does not see that. He does not think to scout the natural wall because that's a weird spot. That's not where you proxy your tech. Or that's not where you build your tech for the most part. But for now, Dark does have vision on the east side of Classic's main base. So that is probably going to be where the Nidus pops in. As more and more banelings are on the way, Dark just really trying to crush this engagement from Classic. And then I assume Nidus across the map to make sure that he just has the best engagement possible. But +2 for Classic is just about done. And that's going to be a wonderful inflection point as he nears max out here. His supplies are pretty equivalent. Now, we do not have any splash. There's not a Templar Archives. There is no Storm. There are no Archons. No Disruptors, no Colossus, nothing like that. It is just this heavy gateway pressure style, but I worry that Classic has not been able to pressure enough. Now, Nidus in the main base is going to force 5 Zealots to warp in. That really, yeah, that's going to deal with that one. The Nidus is not going to get anything done, but that is 10 supply in the main base that Classic does not have for this next pressure here. Lings are going to find a couple Stalkers on the left side, but the rest of the army is here for now, so that just means a couple dead Lings. But here come the banelings. How good are our force fields? Actually pretty damn good. They're going to be forced all the way on through. It's a big choke on the left side, but files land, and that's going to be good enough for now. But here we go, folks. It's the multi-prong. This is what Classic killed Sue with in Game 3, so he's going to get a 5th base for his troubles. On the left side, Starks continue to aggress on in. Banelings actually not really getting the best connections here. Force fields are nice. They're just forcing them to run further and further and further. The Bile's not really getting what they want. This 5th base has gone down. Classic starting to swarm all over the place. The supply he's down 20. But he's absolutely winning the fights where he needs to. Now more and more Lings rolling on in. Drones are going to get pulled to try to keep this 4th base alive. Oracles, there's actually not a lot of anti-air, but here come the rest of the Queens. More Zealots, they gotta join this fight. They're not here just yet. I guess trying to bait backwards with the stasis trap. Classic, do you have any blinks? The answer is kind of yes, but the stasis trap's not going to get much. Zealots is tucking. They find their way to the natural somehow, but a bunch of Banes rolling into this 3rd base. Good pull for now, but still 10 workers go down. You're going to have to split this Classic or you're just going to lose everything. And now into the natural here, going to look to roll on into that one as well. Eventually the Adept will go down. There we go. And Classic's not prepared for this. Actually, okay, so his splits are going to be fairly decent. 15 workers have died. But more and more Lings, now they find their way into the 4th base. And this is what we wanted to see from Sue in that previous series. The whole, you go this heavily upgraded Ling style, your goal, your dream is to kill a bunch of probes. And 26 workers have died. That's the goal. That's the dream. That's what you want. As this Nidus will not complete once again. But now Classic, he finds himself literally at 50% of the supply of Dark. It was looking good for a second. He got a 5th base. He was on really good pressure on the 4th. And then Banelings and Lings come spilling in every little bit. More Banelings on in the 4th base here. And there are just so many Banes because the economy of Dark has been allowed to explode because the Oracles and the initial pressure really didn't find anything. That the suppression force just really did not suppress. Now Banelings continue to roll on in. It is a maxed out Dark against a minned out Classic. And folks, I don't know who's won the Beyond Hero series, but it's looking like this one is just about over. Dark has made his way to the finals once again, and it didn't look close.